Hey, everyone. Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a weekly track roundup where I go over what I felt were the worst and the best tracks of the week. They're all listed down below as usual, along with our Turntable Lab link. Get some vinyl, get a turntable. We get kickback from it. Supports the channel and all that we do. Also, our Patreon page gets some access to some cool bonus monthly content that supports the show. We have a cool classic album live stream happening this week as well, which if you jump in now, you'll be able to see that when it happens. And of course, down below, we also have linked our newsletter, all the great content we do throughout the week sent to you in one convenient email. Sign up. Sign up for that shit. Okay, worst tracks of the week. We have a handful. Let's go through them, starting with this new one from Lil Yachty featuring Kodak Black. While it is exciting to see Kodak Black on a new track, he's out. He's going to be coming out with new material soon at some point, I'm sure. This track was a mess, vocally and lyrically and flow-wise. Yachty didn't really seem like he was trying on the song. On top of that, Kodak was mixed awfully and was almost shouting through his verse, I think, to make up for that to some degree. I don't know. Just not a very well put together cut, in my opinion. Then we have Tory Lanez and Chris Brown. New track Feels. It is buttery and boring. Then we have Papa Roach with doing a greatest hits over here, a track featuring Danny Worsnop of Asking Alexandria fame. And look, at this point, you know what Papa Roach does. If you just want to rock out with your you-know-what out to a little Asking Alexandria vocals on those jump the fuck up riffs, then go for it, man. Go for it. Personally, I can't say it's good because it's not, but with Papa Roach, at least they're consistent. You know what you're getting. You could say that much. We also have this track, Hardcore Happy, from an artist who is up and coming named The Blossom. While I see a lot of the excitement behind this, and I know that there's like some Brockhampton connections here, the chords were super basic, the mix was off, the vocals were so-so. I think there may be something here, but there really needs to be a rebuild of all of this from the ground up if there's going to be anything stupendous about this. I'll say that. And finally, new track from 6ix9ine, Zaza. It's garbage. Don't bother. All right, meh. The tracks that did not blow me away, but I think were worth a shout out. Maybe you might like them more than me. Stereolab has been dropping, a lot of archival singles and tracks here and there. This is not my favorite of them so far, the Super It, but it still has a good groove to it. Check it out. We also have a Serpent with Feet. New track over here with some great vocals, super enchanting, super mystical. Same shoe size is the title. Not crazy about how bare the production is. I think the beat could be more lush, but I still think there is a lot of heart and appeal in what the vocals are doing. We also have a new one from NF, Clouds, not a rapper a lot of my viewers are super crazy about, not someone who I'm super crazy about personally, but actually found the dynamics of his voice and the instrumental to play to his benefit a lot on this track. I wasn't crazy about the lyrical content, I guess, but at least the performance was pretty impressive. Then we have MYD, new track over here with a great driving, just enchanting groove to it. Born a Loser is the title. I just wish there was more development to it. Again, I love the beat, love the groove, love the energy, but there could have been more to it, I think. We also have one over here from Manchester Orchestra, a band I'm not typically a fan of, but I thought this track was structured and produced in a way that was pretty epic, honestly. I think it was a really climactic showing from the band on this one. Bedhead is the title. Then we've also got a new one from Kaytranada. Caution is the title of this new single over here, and it's got a great buttery groove to it, super smooth. Not a whole lot of elements to it, not too busy, but it's certainly got a vibe. Then we have 24K Golden, 3, 2, 1, and it's, I don't know, I guess a pretty bright and peppy piece of emo trap with some strong guitar parts on it. There's a lot of stuff in this style these days, and I think this is, not a bad iteration of that, certainly. We also have a new one from King Gizzard. If anything is underwhelming about this track, and I think this will be depending on who's listening to it and how hardcore of a King Giz fan you are, it's that on this one, I think the band is sort of painting themselves into a corner on this one. I mean, they have a bit of a driving psych, a bit of a microtonal thing going on. It's okay. It's not one of my favorite tracks they've done in that style. I wouldn't even say it's really all that innovative in that sound. They just kind of keep scratching the same itch over and over and over without varying it up. And I feel like they're almost kind of staling out a sound that has a lot of potential if they would just be a little bit more daring with it at this point. I don't know. I'm a little torn on it, I guess. Then we have a Charlie XCX with an artist by the name of Elio. I'm not really familiar with this artist, but this track over here, which I'm now just hearing for the first time thanks to the Charlie XCX inclusion, which is titled Charger. I think it's a pretty cute piece of futuristic pop. Very much in a Charlie XCX, vein. And I think the refrain about having to go back to somebody or some place with someone there who, you're trying to kind of get them out of your life for your phone charger. I think that's, kind of funny, but there wasn't really anything about the track I was impressed by until the beat really picked up in the second half and we got the Charlie feature. If anything really makes the track, it's kind of the Charlie feature. Then moving on from there, we have a new one from Andy Morin of Death Grips fame. This track over here popped up on the A2B2 YouTube channel and is titled, the Dolphin Remix with Payday. And it's very glitchy. It is quite, it feels very long for 4 minutes. It's a lengthy, gigantic, massive 4 minutes. I guess in a way it does pull the veil back on exactly what Andy production-wise brings into the Death Grips fold. But I wouldn't say I was too crazy about the vocal inclusions on the track, nor was I really all that crazy about the pacing. Like a lot of cool, glitchy, colorful, and occasionally overwhelming ideas on this one. But if it were structured in a way where it just had more momentum, I think it would make a world of difference. All right, moving into the best tracks this week, the ones that really floored me, grabbed my attention. They are as follows. We have this one from Still Woozy over here, which I would describe as a track that sounds like an Of Montreal song, an early Of Montreal song. But if it were groovy in the way that I would imagine it would be if Tame Impala had produced it. It's titled Rocky. I do like it quite a bit. It's like a quaint piece of a very funky bedroom pop, I suppose you could say. Then we also have this new one from Vegyn over here. It is driving. It is danceable. It's got some warped, strange lead vocals on it. I think it's got a great vibe. Apparently it's going to be dropping on an upcoming EP. Jeshi is the feature. We also have one from Tash Sultana, new album out now. The song that I wanted to point you guys to is Greed. It is soulful, it is funky, it is instrumentally rich, and it's just really slick. I like it quite a bit, and I'm not usually a big fan of Tasha's work. It's not quite as bold as a lot of the music I like usually is, but there's just something really alluring about this one that won me over. We also have a remix from Nick Hakim of the song QADIR, which I thought was one of the better tracks of last year. This one is the Bad Bad Not Good version, and boy, do the boys do some fantastic things with this track. Really just like reinventing it and making it feel like it's listening to it for the first time all over again. Don't miss out on this one for sure. We also have a new one from an artist who, another artist that I'm not too familiar with, Mahalia. I'm hoping, I'm saying that name correctly, but Rico Nasty on the feature, and just loving how low-key, Mahalia is probably actually how it's said. Anthony, you're an idiot. Rico Nasty on the feature. It's smooth, it's sensual, it's super catchy, it's so low-key and yet so infectious. I'm liking it quite a bit, for sure. All right, we have a new one from Iceage. Vendetta is the title. It is a filthy, buzzing, low-down, dirty rocker. Really feeling like the band's ugly side is back on this one a little bit. I'm loving it. And, of course, we have a Lord Huron on this new track, which is like a very dreamy piece of old school, maybe like folk and rockabilly. I'm really loving the vibe. I'm not saying there's anything too original about this one. There's even, almost an M. Ward vibe to it, but I am loving the tune, I am loving the energy, and I am loving the nostalgic production on this track quite a bit. It's titled Not Dead Yet. We also have Gojira over here with a new track that I was really impressed by. Born for One Thing is the title. And while, it does have those elements of like prog metal that you know the band for, simultaneously, there are some super heavy sludgy bits. There are some passages that are groove metal, like very Pantera all the way. The vocals are absolutely savage in some portions, and the drum work on the track is incredible. Give it a listen. It totally kicks fucking ass. We also have Genesis Owusu, an artist that I got turned on to by none other than Kieran J. Callahan, and I'm loving the drum beat on this one, loving the synths, loving the slick instrumental. It's so funky, it's so laid back, it's so soulful. I would say there's even a Prince vibe to it to an extent. This guy is an eccentric dude dropping some super strong shit, and I am just super psyched to hear what his new album is shaping up to be. We also have this one from Galen Tipton. It is very much in like I'd say a little bit of a Igloo Ghost vein. It's mystical, it's glitchy, it's bustling. It is some intense electronic music, but it is very much worth it, very colorful and overwhelming and exciting. We also have Denzel Curry on this new unlocked version of So Incredible with Kenny Beats, Robert Glasper version, Smino on the track as well. It's more laid back and jazzy and spacey than the original, but still incredibly enjoyable, and I would say it makes Denzel's refrains pop so much more. We have a cover here. If you guys have been paying attention, Bill Callahan and Bonnie Prince Billy have been dropping cover after cover after cover after cover for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks now. And this latest one they've done over here is a version of Silver Jew's The Wild Kindness, with, of course, David Berman's widow, Cassie Berman, on the track as well. And it is incredible, it's passionate, it's noisy and cacophonous, and just immense in the way that I think a cover of this song, at this point, of course, in a David Berman's memory, should be. I'm also loving this new track from Andrew W.K. Babalon is the title. It's almost like a Muse song. It's kind of like a Muse song, but like better. It's like a Muse track. It's not the typical Andrew WK party. He's really doing like a rock opera prog synth sort of thing, and it's a little Muse. And of course, like, in the vein of those genres, he's referencing back to the old school as well. But there's certainly a modernity to his approach on this one, which does sound a lot like Muse, and I love it. I think it's quite good. Yeah. All right, and I also want to shout out over here Alice Phoebe Lou for this track Dirty Mouth, which is an incredible angular little indie rock cut with some great guitar work and some eccentric lead vocals. Fun tune all around. Don't miss this one. Do not miss this one at all. It is quite entertaining. And that has been the weekly track roundup, everyone. Those are all the tracks that I would love to recommend to you guys. I know it's a lot, in the best tracks version, but, don't miss out on a lot of these. There's a lot of good ones here in here. That Bad Bad Not Good remix is killer. The Genesis, the Andrew WK, the Alice, a lot of good tracks this week. Iceage, Gojira, a lot of kick-ass tracks. I will see you in the next one. Remember everything I talked about linked down below, all that. And you're the best. Forever.